Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. So today in this Unity video, I'm going to tell you about the introduction to physics. Okay, so what is the physics, how it works, and all. Okay, so in the Unity we have I already told you in the last video. I think there is a component here, and in those things there are so many components we have, right? So there are mesh, FX, physics. See, there is a physics component in our Unity. So now we are going to talk about this physics. Okay, so first of all, let me take a 3D object cube. This will serve as a ground to us. Okay, this will be our ground. Okay, so think it has a ground, and yeah, name it ground. I will take another 3D object cube. I will place it. Okay, high. Now I will create a material for you to see it clearly. Okay, so create a material. I just don't name it and give this material to the ground, and after that, so don't worry about this material and stuff. I will explain you about this material separately. Okay, now we have the ground and we have the cube. Okay, fine. Now if I play, the game will play, but nothing will happen. See, in the scene nothing is happening. The box is staying in the air and our ground is static. So yeah, so in order to do something like, see, in our real world there is something called gravity, on which helps us to stick on the ground, right? So when you jump you fall back to the ground because of the gravity, right? Now let me tell you in a simple way. See, if I play, see, this is a game view and this is the scene view. If I play, nothing is happening. If we, according to the physics, the box should fall down on the cube, right? The box should fall down on this cube, but it is not falling down. Why? There is no physics. For now there is no physics acting on these bodies. Okay, there is no physics. So Unity is providing us physics, and which we have here in the component. There is a physics component. So in the physics we have rigid body and all. So let's see what those physics mean. Okay, so if I click this cube, if I select, I'm selecting this cube, and there is an add component here. I click this add component, and there is a physics here, right? It's physics. In this physics, if I click the physics, there is a box collider, capsule collider, character collider, all these things, right? And there is a rigid body. So this is the physics system, main physics system. This is what uh, adds the physics behavior to the player, or maybe the game object, whatever. Now if you add this rigid body to this cube, it will act, the physics will act on this body. Like, see, there is a box collider. This is also a physics component. I will explain about this collider and rigid body and something else. So I will explain all about this physics, all the things that you need to know about this physics components in the Unity in this class. Okay, so yeah, so let's start it. So let's do, this is a there is a box collider attached to this one, to this box. There's a box collider attached. I just remove this box collider. Okay, now there is no physics added to this cube. There is just a mesh filter which gives us the shape, the mesh render which lets us to see, and there is a transform, that is a common thing, which gives us the position, rotation and scale of the object, right? So there is no other thing attached to this. So in order to apply the physics to this cube, or whatever the object in the Unity, to in order to apply something, apply some physics to that, you go to the add component, go to the physics, click the physics, you add the rigid body first of all. So rigid body is the physics component. This is what applies the physics. Okay, now it will act as a physical body, right? Now now there are some properties in the rigid body. See, mass. First of all, it is mass. Mass is nothing but the weight. You everybody know about the mass, right? Now the weight is 1. Okay, that's fine. Leave the mass. Mass is the weight of the body, and again drag is a force, like a friction, you can say. Okay, drag is frictional force, and angular drag is when the object is rotating, it will add some like friction to the opposite side, like if it is rotating in the clockwards, then the force will act in the anti-clockward. Like there is, say, if it is rotating like this, like simply say, to understand, to everybody to understand, I will make it simple. In the car games, when you play drift, like when you rotate it, when you rotate the handle of the car completely, you will make a drift, right? So the drift, when the drift is working because of the angular drag. Without the angular drag, the car, what it does means, when you drift, the car will go and fall down somewhere else. So it will apply the force towards the game object which it rotating. Okay, if it is rotating the x-axis in the plus opposite side, it will add an angular drag, which is a force, opposite force to that rotation, and it will stop it. Okay, it will gradually go and stop. And drag is nothing but a force that is repelling. Like if it is on a motion in the x direction like this, there will be a force acting this side. From this side, there is the opposite force to the displacement, you can say. Okay, this is drag and angular drag. After that, we have the gravity. Everybody know gravity. Gravity is a force that pulls towards the ground. Okay, when you jump, you will go. When you throw a ball, it will come to the land again. That is a gravity. And is kinematic. If you switch on this is kinematic, the object, the cube, will not do anything. Nothing will happens. The physics will switch off if you use this is kinetic. Okay, the interpolation and all you don't need now. This is collision decision. This is also you don't need. These things we will work with those things later. Okay, for now all we need is use gravity, mass and all. Okay, so then there is a constraints. This constraints represents the position and rotation of this cube, xyz. So if you want to lock the position in the x, if you want to lock the position in y, you can use it. Okay, if you want to lock the rotation in the x, y and z, you can use that. Okay, so this is the rigid body. As now I applied the rigid body, I keep this object in the top. Okay, so I kept it in the top, right? If I play now, you can see the object will fall down and it is going inside the this floor and it is falling down. So why that is happening? So actually the physics is working. Physics is working, gravity is working, everything is working. There is a mass, there is a drag, everything is working now. But it is going through this one, through this ground. Why? See, why means there is another physics component, which is the physics collider. So this is what collider means. Collider is a component which helps the object to make collisions. Okay, collision, it will collide something, it will struck when it collide. Okay, it will help is to collide with some other object. Now there is no collider, it is not colliding with anything, so it is going through that object, right? So if there is a collider, then it will collide and then it will stop, then it will stand on that. Okay, see, now it is standing on that object, right? So this is what a box collider and this is what a rigid body means, and this is the physics in the Unity. Just like in the real world, the gravity, mass and all works here. Okay, so now see, there is a constraint. Let me explain about this constraint. See, if you freeze the y position and play, it will fall down. This position will not work. Okay, while you play. Okay, actually while you play it will not work. While you play, really play. Now I am not playing, that is why it is working. But if you click this in the y-axis, like there is a player movement, if you click the right arrow, it will go in the right side, right? This x-axis will not work because I froze the x position. It will not work. So let me rotate this one little bit for better understanding. I'm rotating this and I'm rotating this one also. So this rotation, so it will not, to stop the rotation, see, I will I'm locking this x-axis and also I'm locking the z rotation. And if I play now, what it will happen? See, it is not moving, it is not rotating, right? It should actually rotate and go, because there is a slope here, but it is not moving, not rotating. Why? See, simply see, if I write a code, it is working because it is a program, I'm telling. But actually in the physics, when the real physics is acting, it is not working. Now you understand. Now you understand what I'm trying to say, right? So the physics will stop acting in the particular axis. Simply to put it in the words, that is what I'm doing. If I unlock these things and play, see, it is rotated and became straight, right? And if I even, then it will go now. See, it is rotating. But what if I stop the Z rotation, X position, or what if I start the Y position itself? If I start the Y position, what it will happen? It will not fall down. It is still on the air. It is not falling down. See, if I unlock this, it will fall down. If I unlock this, it is not falling down, right? So this is what constraints does, simply. Okay, simple and easy to understand, right? So, and you know the collider now. So what is a collider? Collider is something that helps to collide. Okay, that helps to collide two objects. Okay, if there is two objects, in order them to collide, you need to use collider. Okay, so there is a different type of colliders. The rigid body is the same, but there are different type of colliders, like there is a sphere collider, capsule collider and all. Okay, no need to discuss about this. All those things work at the same. They all help us to collide. That's it. Okay, and the rigid body is the physics. Now you know, and now you know the properties of the rigid body, and of course this is the physics system in the Unity. Okay, so I just try to put it in a simple words and I made it. So I hope you understood. If there is any doubts, if you want to know more about the rigid body, if I didn't tell anything, you didn't get anything, but just comment it. I will make a video clearly about this. Okay, with some coding and all. Okay, then you will understand perfectly. Okay, for now I just made it simple so that you understand in a simple way. Rigid body is just apply the physics. It have mass, gravity and all, and after applying the physics with the rigid body to make collisions and all, you use the collider. That is it. Okay, so this is a simple way to understand, and this is what rigid body and physics components simply. Okay, yeah. So yes, this is it for this video. We'll see you in the next video. Subscribe and hit the notification bell to get the updates. Okay.